Welcome back to HealthWise. And as I said earlier, with us today is Dr. Lewis Mess with Plastic Surgery and Associates. Dr. Lewis, I guess everybody thinks when you talk about plastic surgery, they think about that show. I guess it's all the Hollywood shows, Nip Tuck, whatever.
Nip Tuck, yeah.
And they see these plastic surgeons driving around in BMWs, 745Is, top of the line, $100,000 Mercedes, millions of dollars, big glamorous life. Is that?
That would be fun. You know, I often, my colleagues will come and ask me, you know, whether my life is like that, and it's not. You know, we're just ordinary guys. But, you know, if you're going to talk about earnings, we way down on the totem pole compared to radiologists and orthopedic surgeons and neurosurgeons and so on. The average plastic surgeon is probably middle of the pack in terms of earnings. Beverly Hills, sure. In Beverly Hills, we've got a lot of glamorous people, but then that applies to just about everything. It's over the top there.
Sure.
Now, most plastic surgeons, at least when they start off in their career, you know, work in universities and they work in emergency rooms, and they work on accidents, and they work on little kids, often in clinics, you know, which are government run, Medicare, Medicaid, kids with disabilities, you know, cleft lips, palates, birth deformities, that kind of stuff. And it doesn't pay very much, but that's not the point. The thing is that that's what we get off on. We really enjoy putting your feet on your head, if you want to put it that way. You know?
I think what happens is a lot of people look at that show and think that's all you do is breast augmentation, liposuction, and that kind of thing. But what they don't realize is that there are all kind of incidents. Like I know of one last night, a guy got his ear bit off and has half a ear now. So of course that's going to have to be done. You know, he's going to have to find a plastic surgeon to redo his ear.
Sure.
You mentioned cleft
lips and palates.
And
head deformities.
I was just watching on TV Operation Smile, where they had this team of plastic surgeons. They go around just fixing cleft palates and lips. And those kind of things are the things that, you know, people don't think about, the general population doesn't think about. They think about just the glamorous things, but there's a lot, I think, of, I don't know if in this area as much.
Oh, plenty in this area, and when you start off in the beginning and you're paying your dues, you spend many, many nights up all night, you know, working on accidents and gunshots, and like the guy last night with no ears, trying to put them back on again. You know, we have all kinds of techniques these days for reattaching hands and noses and ears, and that's all plastic surgery. People forget that. Now, obviously, there is cosmetic surgery, which comes under our umbrella, and a lot of people, as the years go by, develop a cosmetic practice. And these days, you know, at the ripe old age of 65, most of what I do is cosmetic. And I don't go out to the emergency rooms as much as I used to, you know, but you know, I paid my dues probably for 25, 26 years by, you know, doing that kind of stuff in the middle of the night. And it's poorly paid, but it's very rewarding. And most of us enjoy that, and that's why we do it. And that's what gets us started in plastic surgery. It's not all this cosmetic stuff.
It's not.
I always tell everyone it's sort of a shame, because you learn all these fantastic techniques and you spend all those years training, and then when you get to cosmetic surgery, you end up tightening skin. You know, which is not particularly difficult technically. You know, I mean, the judgment and so on is difficult. And I'd like to talk a bit more about, you know, the qualifications that plastic surgeons need. You know, what people need to look for when they are choosing a surgeon, because there's so much misinformation out there, and you know, everyone is trying to get into skincare and into cosmetic surgery, and many of the people who are out there putting themselves out as cosmetic surgeons are not trained plastic surgeons.
Right.
You know, some of them are, and there is an overlap between the specialties, but it's almost becoming outrageous now, you know, what people will get up to, and then, to my mind, really mislead the population about their qualifications. For instance, you know, if I went out and set up a clinic to do, say, LASIK surgery on people's eyes, I could say I'm board certified, but if I don't qualify that I'm board certified in plastic surgery, people will think I'm an ophthalmologist, and they'll be perfectly happy to come and sign a consent form and let me do LASIK surgery.
Because
now,
they
that's
just
not a
saw
good
you that
idea.
you were board certified.
Yeah, because I'm board certified. So you wouldn't get a foot doctor to operate on your nose, and you wouldn't get an orthopedic doctor to do your facelift. You know, that kind of thing. And so people, when they're looking for a surgeon, you need to shop in the community. You need to find out who has a good reputation, and then not be afraid to ask the doctor if he is board certified in, say, plastic surgery, or if you want your hip done, whether he's an orthopedic surgeon, not just board certified, because you might end up with a gynecologist doing your breasts, or, you know, like I said, an orthopedic doctor doing your facelift, or, you know, it applies to any specialty.
And you hear these horror stories, of course, you know, every now and then, not much, but, and I guess it's not sensationalized. So every now and then you hear these horror stories where this doctor in LA or somewhere in California or somewhere else has just ruined this person. And then you find out, like you said, he wasn't even certified. He wasn't trained.
He decided he wanted to do that, and he maybe took a weekend course if you're lucky. Or he just read a book.
Right.
And then he went off and he said he wanted to do that. And that does go on to some extent, even in Acadiana. So, you know, you need to beware. Now, you know, most plastic surgeons, all plastic surgeons, if they are board certified, have gone through medical school. They've all done training in general surgery up to the point where they're at least board eligible. Most of us are board certified.
Right.
For instance, my general surgery certification is in England, but I mean, I could, if I chose to do general surgery, become board certified in the States.
Okay.
Then after you've finished all that, once you've actually learned how to be a surgeon and go into the belly and fix blood vessels and operate in the chest and, you know, do all this kind of trauma and so on, you then go on and you specialize in plastic surgery, and that is a 2 to 3 year apprenticeship with plastic surgeons. And you work together as their resident, and you learn the craft, if you want to put it that way, of plastic surgery, because it's not just doing operations. You know, many people who come to plastic surgeons have psychologic hang-ups and so on, and, you know, all these things have to be taught. Your judgment has to be, you know, honed by your mentors. Sure. And like anything, you learn the craft of your specialty, and then also the technical ability. And some doctors are technically more able than others. There's no doubt that applies to everything you do. But at least if you're board certified, you know that that doc has gone through a long apprenticeship as a surgeon, and then he's gone off and he's written some very difficult exams and been examined by his peers. And every 3 years he has to submit more certification to prove that he's keeping up with his field.
Okay. Well, hold that thought, Doc, and we'll come back after this brief message from our sponsors.